now we have fact following fiction, where the scenes in Zero Dark 30 that are a recreation of what happened in real life, they're having the same conversations that they did in the siege pre 9/11, where like, hey man, if we're allowed to do this to prisoners of war, like what's the use of going to war to fight for the Constitution if we're just shitting all over it? I'm paraphrasing, but they basically, they have the same conversation about real events that happened post 9/11, post Homeland Security, post like stuff that you and I would disagree with as a libertarian. You know, it was in a movie that was kind of a throwaway movie if you didn't see it, because I don't remember it having a huge box office. And you know, they were examining a lot of those tropes 3 years before 9/11, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny because this is something that I've said a lot, which is the best libertarian movies are movies that are accidentally libertarian. Because libertarians tend to just be living in our own brains in a lot of ways, and actually, the funny thing is, a few years ago, my nephew asked me, "What's a libertarian?" and I just said, "A libertarian is somebody with Asperger's and a lot of opinions."
Okay, that one's got to go into a clip, Chris. What is a libertarian? A middle-aged white guy with Asperger's and a lot of opinions. Yes, I'm with you. You're currently describing Scott and Matthew here.
And you know, that's not really conducive to making great movies. So, like, I actually, you know, when I used to work for He Who Shall Not Be Named back in DC, we actually did a series of Thursday night film screenings of libertarian-minded movies. And I mean, we started off with like V for Vendetta. You know, we did Minority Report, but the one that really stuck out to me, I thought that we were going to have an empty house, but we did a screening of The Lives of Others, directed by Florian Pinkel von Donnersmarck.
The Lives of Others. I know I've seen it, but I don't. I would be lying to you if I told you I recalled anything about it.
It's set in East Germany in the like late 70s, early 80s, and it's basically about a Stasi officer who's like doing surveillance on this playwright who might have some less than pro-Soviet ideas.
Now I remember. I remember seeing this, and there's a twist at the end. I won't give away the spoiler, but basically that police state looking for thought crimes.
Yeah, and I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, you know, I figured Thursday night, you know, a bunch of libertarians. This is a German movie. It's over 2 hours long. You know, nobody's going to show up. And surely enough, when I showed up to, you know, set up the projector, there wasn't an empty seat. But I mean, like there's a consumer element for movies and art among libertarians. The problem is the supply side. You know, like it's really hard to actually get anybody to open up, you know, the fucking pockets and get any support for an actual libertarian making a libertarian movie,
right?
Unless it's one of those Kevin Sorbo movies that are just awful and really just wearing the political ideology right there on the sleeve, and it's a problem,
right?
You know, because people don't like to be preached to all that often. I mean, if they want to be preached to, they're going to go to church.
Yeah. Well, when you mention libertarian movies, besides the classics, which to me are kind of like V for Vendetta, Fahrenheit 451, 1984, these things that show like obviously totalitarian states. There's a few movies that have like libertarian themes that really jump out at me as more commercial successes. And I actually have a lot of hyper liberal, democratic, even progressive friends that love these two movies that I'm going to give you. And then they can't figure out quite why they love them because something feels off. But I'll give you two movies and you tell me whether you think they're more libertarian flicks. One is Enemy of the State with Will Smith, where he gets caught in this horrible trap of the state spying on him accidentally because it's the accidental man story. I think that's great because it kind of shows the overreaching power of the government. So yay or nay, libertarian film?
Yeah, I think that's a yay. Yeah.
Okay.
And Tony Scott, may he rest in peace. That was horrible. That happened there, but
okay.
Yeah.
And then these next two, I'll be interested to see because this is a little bit more of a stretch. If we go with Dallas Buyers Club, where it basically shows the evil side of the FDA, that there is HIV and AIDS patient saving drugs that the FDA is basically holding up. And then I go to another movie, similar topic, which is the Band Marched On with Matthew Modine, where he's like screaming at the FDA on like, no, we know that these blood transfusions are transferring AIDS. And they're like, nope, we're the government. We're the bureaucracy. We know better. These facts on the grounds don't matter. So those two movies showing the evil side of bureaucratic involvement with healthcare, I kind of count those two movies as like very libertarian topics.
Yeah, and we actually screened Dallas Buyers Club at my previous job as a Liberty screening, and unfortunately, the director of that movie just died yesterday.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that just happened. They still don't know what the cause of death was, but he died at the age of, I think, 56.
Well, not knowing anything about the director, I don't even know his name.
Yeah.
But I would be willing to bet the left is saying he died from a tragic outbreak of COVID because some evil person didn't get vaccinated. And I would be willing to bet the right, whatever these things mean these days, is saying that he died because he got the vaccine. So that would be my guess. So Jean-Marc Vallée. Oh, he was young.
Yeah.
Born in 1963, so he's only 16 years old. So he was under 60 years old. Man, I'm gonna have to look this up early. I don't want it to completely derail the talk, but I'm sure depending on what news media source you look up, they'll have an opinion about how he died, unless it was obviously a car accident or suicide or something like that. But if he died from quote unquote natural causes, I'm sure everybody's taking their spin on this.